Trigger warning: this video describes acts of kidnapping and unaliving children. Watch at your own discretion. On the afternoon of July 27, 1981, Adam accompanied his mother Reb Drew on a shopping trip to the Hollywood Mall in Hollywood, Florida. They went to Sears, entering through the north entrance. Reb intended to inquire about a lamp that was on sale and left Adam at a kiosk with Atari 2600 video games on display, where several other boys were taking turns playing them. Reb completed her business in the lamp department around 12:15 p.m. She said that she returned to find that Adam and the other boys had disappeared. A store manager informed her that a scuffle had broken out over whose turn it was at the kiosk, and a security guard demanded that the boys leave the store. The security guard asked the older boys if their parents were in the store, and they said that they were not. Adam's parents later conjectured that their son had been too shy to speak to the security guard, who presumed that he was in the company of the other boys and made him leave by the same door by which the boys had entered the Sears West entrance. His parents believed that after the other boys dispersed, he was left alone outside the store at an exit unfamiliar to him. Meanwhile, unable to find Adam in the toy department, we've had him paged over the public address system and continued to look for him throughout the store. By coincidence, she ran into her mother-in-law Jean, who helped her search for him. After more than 90 minutes of searching and paging failed to locate Adam, Reeve called the Hollywood police at 1:55 p.m. on August 10th. A head was found in a drainage canal alongside the Florida Turnpike near Vero Beach, almost 130 miles from Hollywood, by Detective Ralphie Latimer Jr. and an unidentified deputy of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Indian River County and St. Lucie County divers searched the canal. On the morning of August 11th, John and Riv appeared on national television saying that they still hoped that Adam was alive. A 100,000 United States dollars reward was posted for Adam's safe return. Soon after, the recovered remains were identified as Adam's. The coroner ruled that the cause of Adam's death was asphyxiation. The state of the remains suggested that Adam had died several days before the discovery of his head. The rest of his body was never recovered. The head itself would be kept in the morgue until the case's closure in 2008. John and Riv believed that the Hollywood Police Department had botched the treatment of Adam's disappearance, first with the missing person investigation, and then with the unaliving investigation. After some investigation, police eventually concluded that Adam was abducted by a drifter named Otis Toole near the front exterior of Sears after being instructed to leave by a security guard. Toole said that he had lured Adam into his white 1971 Cadillac sedan DeVille with promises of toys and candy, then proceeded to drive north on Interstate 95 toward his home in Jacksonville. According to Toole, Adam, at first docile and compliant, began to panic as they drove on. Toole punched him in the face, but as this just made the situation worse, he then walloped him unconscious. While Adam was unconscious, Toole drove north on the Florida Turnpike to a deserted service road just north of the Radable Road overpass in northwest St. Lucie County. When Toole realized that Adam was still breathing, he unalived him with a seat belt. He claimed that he wanted to make Adam his adopted son, but that was not deemed feasible. The source of the blood found in Toole's car could not be identified. The police ultimately lost the blood-stained carpet from the car, the machete said to have been used, and, eventually, the car itself. Toole, a confidant of convicted serial unaliver Henry Lee Lucas, repeatedly confessed and then retracted accounts of his involvement. Toole was never charged in Adam's case, although he provided seemingly accurate descriptions as to how he committed the crime. Several witnesses also placed him in the Hollywood area in the days leading up to Adam's disappearance. In September 1996, he died in prison of cirrhosis at the age of 49 while serving a life sentence for other crimes. Later, his niece told John Walsh that he made a deathbed confession to Adam's unaliving. His confession was viewed as unreliable, as he and Lucas confessed to or implicated themselves in more than 200 unalivings. Most of Lucas' confessions were later revealed to have been false, having been coerced by the Texas Rangers. In 1997, Hollywood Police Chief Rick Stone conducted an exhaustive review of Adam's case after the release of John's book. At the time, Stone was a 22-year veteran of the Dallas, Texas, and Wichita, Kansas police departments and had been appointed Hollywood's chief of police in the previous year. Although the crime happened 16 years before the time of his review, he provided an analysis of the evidence, including a review of taped interrogations of Toole by Hollywood detective Mark Smith. Stone says that his review found evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that Toole unalived Adam. Stone noted that both Toole and Lucas were notorious for confessing to crimes that they had committed and then recanting. In 2007, according to allegations that earned widespread publicity, Jeffrey Dahmer, who was arrested in Wisconsin in 1991 after unaliving more than a dozen men and boys, was also named as a suspect in Adam's unaliving. Dahmer's father called the America's Most Wanted hotline soon after his son's arrest to claim that he believed that his son was a pedophile. Dahmer was living in Miami Beach at the time of Walsh's unaliving, and two eyewitnesses placed him at the mall on the day that Adam was abducted. One claimed to have seen a strange man walking into the toy department. The other said that he saw a young, blonde man with a protruding chin throw a struggling child into a blue van and speed off. Both witnesses recognized the man they had seen as Dahmer when pictures of him were released in the newspapers after his arrest. Reports revealed that the delivery shop where Dahmer worked had a blue van at the time. He preyed on young men and boys, the youngest being 8 years older than Adam, and his modus operandi included severing his victims' heads. When he was interviewed about Adam Walsh in 1992, Dahmer repeatedly denied his involvement in the crime, even stating, "I've told you everything, how I unalived them, how I cooked them, who I ate. Why wouldn't I tell you if I did it to someone else?" However, it has been reported that Dahmer believed he would be unalived in prison as a pedophile if he confessed to Walsh's unaliving. After this rumor surfaced, John Walsh stated that he had seen no evidence linking Adam's abduction and unaliving to those that were committed by Dahmer. On December 16, 2008, Hollywood Police Chief Chad Wagner, with his friend John present, made the announcement that the case was now closed. An external review of the case had been conducted and police announced that they were satisfied that Toole was the unaliver. Thank you for watching. For more true crime stories, follow my co-host Child Case Podcast with Sylvia Pradia, where she covers child abuse cases.